father love his children even if they didn't turn out the way he raised them? That's interesting. Well, for this morning Manversations, we discuss father's unconditional love for his children despite their challenges. I will say straight up, I have 4 kids, 2 girls and 2 boys, and I think not only kids, everyone must be encouraged to do what they're good at. So football is my life. None of them play football. Born me, see? But me not gonna say, boy, me not deal with that youth that kind don't play football.
Maybe the next generation, right?
Yeah. You know, the next generation gone into basketball. One is my grandson is a professional basketball player. But no, it's interesting because one of my grandsons was born 5 months premature, and he wears hearing aids. And sometimes my son, I think him kind of feel a way that him have a son that have to wear hearing aids. So I can understand where this is coming from, because some people are almost embarrassed because your son or your daughter is,
a disability or
has a disability. And if you talk to people with who run mental illness places, they will say a family member will bring a family member to one of those places, give a wrong address, and never ever come back for them. Yeah. Never ever come back for them, because I guess you're embarrassed that your child or your brother or your uncle has a disability. Mm-hmm. But I don't say how you can love them any less if they're yours. When I say yours, if you are the father or the mother, I don't say how you can love them any less.
You shouldn't. You absolutely should not.
Yeah, but I can understand some people just can't deal with that.
Yeah, some people can't process the I guess, what do you call that now, disappointment?
Yeah.
Because the expectation is that your child will be 100% healthy, fully functional physically and mentally. And when that doesn't happen, in some instances people start immediately thinking about, oh my God, how much is it going to cost me to make the adjustment in the life of this child so that it can be as quote unquote normal as possible.
Yeah, man. And I think I've said this so many times here, that everyone's reality is different. So I'm not here to tell anyone, so no, you should be doing this and you can't do that, because everyone's reality is different. And when you don't have the wherewithal to look after your child who might have a disability, it's easy for me to sit and I say, no, it's foolish to say, but if some people just, they don't have the capacity, is the word I want, to deal with it, whether you like it or not. Yeah. And I don't think that makes them bad parents.
No.
No,
it absolutely does not. I mean, your reaction to anything is just your reaction.
Yeah.
Now, moving beyond the initial reaction is a different matter, because in this particular instance, we're talking about your child, the life that you have brought into this world. So, sure, be disappointed. If you're angry, you're angry, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then you've got to kind of center yourself, kind of come back and go like, all right, here, what happened now? This is still a life, right? I've had mine, or I'm still living mine. How do I go about ensuring that this child's life can be even better than mine, or at least up to a standard where,
I agree. We mentioned disability a couple of times, but that's not the only problem that some parents might have, because some parents might want you to be a doctor or a lawyer, and
I mean that,
and you end up like me, I play football, but I don't know. Somebody asked me a question. My mom is gone, and someone asked me a question that if I could say one thing to my mother, what I would say, and I said I would say I'm sorry, because my mother never had a plan B. My mother was just about education. She thought that the way to come out of a hard life or poverty was to be educated. She was right. It never worked for me, and she was very annoyed with me when I decided that I never want to go there. I did want to go play football, and I ended up playing professional football. I don't think she did accept.
She was fond of the
No,
I
don't think she did accept that she had a child that never end up being doctor this or a master's degree or something like that, because most of her kids did. I've said it all the way. I have a brother that went to Oxford and MIT. Right. One went to Harvard, one went to New York University. My sister was the registrar at UWI. and never play ball. You know? She never liked that.
Yeah.
She never liked that. And I think I let her down. But I am happy with myself. I'm happy with what I do, what I did, and what I'm doing now. Yeah. And I wouldn't change that for anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it for anything.
My mom eventually was proud of my career in media and communications, right? Originally, she was all about, you have to name Dr. So-and-so, you know, so I did biochem and math and all them kind of things and studied all of that. But
and then you just get what list?
Yeah, you know what I mean? But by the time she heard my first interview, like I did my first show on air, which was a nighttime show, to be honest. But by that time, she was like, she did kind of come around. But my first job was in communications, but it wasn't a media job. Yeah. It was a public relations job. And she loved that because of what it did. But then when she really heard me up on the radio, then it clicked. But a lot of my other friends, like my dad was the opposite. Daddy was super supportive. Daddy never cared. Daddy was like, that's what you want to do? Yeah, Daddy, do it. He was 100% behind. So,
as I said, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but I still say that everyone must be encouraged to do what they're good at.
That's right.
And if that good at is being an artist, then encourage that. If it is being a footballer, encourage that. So many people, sports people.
Something productive and legal, because that's the next thing, because you can't really endorse deal with them if they are, fragment the line.
Yeah, well, listen, we've had people who left universities to go play sport.
Right.
One of our greatest West Indian fast bowlers quit university and went to play for the West Indies. Well, again, I repeated myself. Do what you love. And whether you like it or not, you have to make a life still, you know. You have to make a life. So whatever you do, ensure that you can
fuel
look
their
after
fire.
yourself. Look after yourself.
Be the fuel to their fire.
You can look after your family. All right. Richard, I think you sent it to the wrong one. Hold on. Make a check something here. Make a check something.
All right. So some of the other ones are choosing to live an alternative lifestyle. What if your child decides to live an alternative lifestyle? That's never an easy one to, especially when you have your own values, your own value system and whatnot. But guess what happened? It's important that you still be supportive of your child, because at the end of the day, it's still a pitney. And yeah, it's not easy, because you're like, but guess what? You live your life already, you know. You live your life already. So allow them to live theirs. And it's not an indictment. I don't think it's an indictment necessarily on your parenting style, your parenthood, that your child makes certain types of choices. Difficult to accept. You don't have to promote it, but as still a child, still love them, right? And still be supportive where you can.
You've heard me say this before also. There's an African proverb that says, the ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people. Leadership is important at every level in your life. Whether it's a big brother, whether it's a big sister, whether it's mom and dad, leadership is important. And lead them the right way. I understand you, Kimmy. Garth kind of said it also, that you need to be doing legal stuff. All right, that's it.
That's it.
Conversations.
That's right. Hi, Tammy.